wow, this team just completely ceases to amaze me. Oh my god. Oh my god, they literally blew a 3-2 lead in the final, what was it, like 3 minutes of the game, and lose to the Buffalo Sabres again by a score of 5-3. Man. And yeah, I know they played a good game. They controlled the pace for majority of the time, but you know what? All of that is so irrelevant. It is so irrelevant. I don't care how good you played in the game. I don't care what you did and what you did and what it looked good. You made the same mistakes, and you lost to the Buffalo Sabres again. And I think there's a stat. I think one of the Flyers beat reporters put it out there that Buffalo has scored, I think it was 5 or more goals, I think 6 times this year. And I think 4 of those are against the Flyers. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not good. Not good enough. Inexcusable. Unacceptable. And for this to happen a day before the trade deadline happens. Yeah. And like I said from yesterday, the playoff hopes are shot. They are completely shot. I don't have faith in this team making the playoffs at all. I just don't. Right now, you have to focus on making this team better for next year. And it's not 1 or 2 moves. You have to make multiple moves. And I know all that's definitely not going to happen at the trade deadline. I more expect the Flyers to maybe just sell maybe 1 or 2 pieces. Maybe get something in return. And maybe they can use those assets to help themselves in the offseason. But you got to make some type of move at the trade deadline. Because if you don't make any type of move, it's going to make the fan base irate. Even more irate than they already are. And the fan base, they've been eating at this team the entire season because this team came into this year with a lot of expectations. And this season has been an absolute failure. This season has been an absolute failure. And a lot of people are just going to be questioning the team now. And we're just going back into the same pit of mediocrity that we've been for basically almost a decade at this point. Make the playoffs, miss the playoffs, make the playoffs, miss the playoffs, make the playoffs, miss the playoffs. Go through 20 million coaches. It's got to end at some point. At some point, the front office has to literally put their damn foot down and say, we're not going to be in this mess anymore. I want to make this team better and make this team into a contender that can contend for the Stanley Cup for a long period of time. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that say, blow the entire thing up. No, because this team has pieces that they can build around. A lot of young guys, a lot of young talent that they can build around. They have still top talent on this team too. You have Sean Couturier, probably the best defensive forward in the NHL. That's a guy you can definitely build around. Claude Giroux, your captain, he's not going anywhere. He's a guy you still build around. I'm talking about the guys, even though this is going to be incredibly difficult to even probably happen, but you're looking at guys like James Van Riemsdyk, Jake Voracek, their contracts, Shane Gostisbehere, even though Ghost has looked incredibly better this season. I like that he's playing with a lot of confidence. It's a nice change of pace. But maybe he also gets looked at in the offseason. Maybe you move him. Like what I've said many times, I only see Shane Gostisbehere as a guy. He's a bottom 6 type of defenseman. He plays on your third pairing, and then he's a guy that can quarterback your power play. That is the type of defenseman that Shane Gostisbehere is. He can't play on the top pairing. He can't play second pairing. He is a third pairing offensive defenseman who can quarterback a power play. And that's all he was going to be. I like that he's playing with this type of confidence. And I would say hopefully he can build off that, but the faith with the team right now is just completely shot. And like I said, you need to make a lot of changes. You do. And going back to this, talking about like guys like JVR and Voracek, those guys' contracts are going to be incredibly impossible to move. Because you're looking at a flat cap for another few years. The cap's not going up. The NHL said it's not going to be going up for another few years, even with the new TV deal with ESPN. It's just not going to happen. So the Flyers have to literally beg for mercy that Seattle takes one of those guys off this team and puts them in a better contract situation with the salary cap. I know the Flyers, they've been banking cap space this entire season consistently, calling guys up, calling guys down to the taxi squad. And yeah, they're banking cap space for the trade deadline. And I think Charlie O'Connor was talking about it on Twitter in one of his articles in The Athletic. He was saying the Flyers could have around like $6.5 million in cap space with all the cap they've banked. So who knows, maybe that's what Chuck Fletcher is waiting for. He's waiting for deadline day to now utilize this cap space. Maybe it benefits him. I have no idea. I literally have no idea what Chuck Fletcher is going to do. But he's going to have to do something, because like I said, if he doesn't do anything, this fan base is going to be completely irate, even more than they already are. It's just what it is at this point. The fan base is sick of it. We're all sick of this mediocrity. And we want to know what direction this team is going to, because right now this team does not have an identity. This team does not have one whatsoever. They just don't. Literally, when you think they have a spurt of momentum going in the direction, immediately crumbles. They face any type of shred of adversity, immediately crumble. It's not like it was last year. When that team faced adversity, they thrived through it. They built off of it, and they went on that streak before the stoppage came. And then the playoffs happened. But this year, completely the one opposite. Complete 180. Everything that comes this team's way, they crumble because of it. They can't handle it for some reason. And yeah, there is blame to put on this. Yeah, the coaching just definitely has not been the same this year. The players definitely have regressed a lot this year, especially a lot of the young guys on defense. Sanheim, Myers, those guys have regressed a little bit. Provorov hasn't been the same as he was last year, and that definitely is the impact from Matt Niskanen to not being paired with him consistently. And guys like Travis Konechny, even though he has been playing a lot better as of late, this entire season for him just hasn't been that good, regardless of what the advanced analytics are going to say. Because a lot of advanced analytics are going to be saying Konechny is having a really good year, but the eye test shows something else completely different. The eye test can show something completely different with a lot of the players on this team. It definitely can. Analytics are just a side piece of it. It only tells part of the story. The eye test tells the other half. And right now, the eye test says that this team's not good. This team is not good, and they need a lot of fixes to help this team. A lot. So you go into this game. Not the best of starts, but the Flyers, they got it better as the first period went along. And you get 2 goals from Oscar Lindblom and Joel Farabee. So you go 2-0 against this team in the first period, and you go into the intermission up 2-0. But then, immediately, with the pace the Flyers had in the first period, they played so good. They come in the second period, they're a completely different team. They're turning the puck over, and they're letting Buffalo control the pace. And what does that turn into? 2 goals for Sam Reinhart and R2 Ruotsalainen. And Ruotsalainen, that's his first career NHL goal. So another player that scored his first NHL goal against the Flyers. That's just icing on the cake. It's just icing on the cake. That's just the Flyers' MO at this point. Completely their MO. And the Flyers had their chance. They had so many chances to bury the puck into the net today. They had so many open net chances, pucks that are just laying there, they can't get to, they whiff on the puck, they shank it, or Ullmark for Buffalo just makes an unbelievable save to keep the puck out of the net. Albie Kubel had 10 bailed chances in the second period, and Albie Kubel has been dreadful this year. I have no idea what the hell happened to him. For how good he was last year when he came up, he has been, like I said, a complete 180, and he's one of those young players that has regressed. And he's just taking way too many unnecessary penalties. When the Flyers get a lead, he'll take an unnecessary penalty. He's turning the puck over. He doesn't have that same energy. He doesn't have that same forecheck feel. It's just completely different. And like I said, the Flyers had so many chances to bury the puck in the net in this period, and they couldn't. But you go into the third period. Shane Gostisbehere, great pass from Joel Farabee. Goes coming up the left side, puts it 5-0 through Ullmark. 3-2 Flyers. So you're okay, Flyers are shutting it down. They're winning 3-2. They're going to win this game. And the Flyers actually scored on a power play today. They're only winning the game. And the special teams would show that the Flyers were the better team in this game, because the Flyers actually killed off all the penalties and they scored on their only power play. But no, it doesn't work like that, because when you go into the final minutes of the game, before the goals happened for Buffalo, and also for the first goal for Buffalo, the Reinhart goal, Jeff Skinner was the primary setup man because of that, because he pushed off the faceoff against Claude Giroux or Sean Couturier. Then he managed to get the puck over to Reinhart, who was able to bury it past Hart. So Jeff Skinner was definitely a workhorse in this game for Buffalo. And that's sad to see, because Jeff Skinner has not been good this year, or just good the past few years for Buffalo. A guy that's been a healthy scratch and a guy that's making $9 million has not been good. And you're letting him walk all over you. Not good enough. Not good enough. So, a little bit of a scrum happens. Carter Hart makes a save. Some of the Buffalo players, they're poking at Carter Hart. And then here comes a big scruffle. Flyers pushing guys into the boards. Looks like it's going to be a line brawl. Carter Hart gets into the mix. And then you show on the other side of the ice, got Ullmark coming up the center ice just in case they want to do a goaltender fight or something like that. And the whole thing does start with Robert Haig, and Robert Haig did play in this game, and Sam Moran sat for Phil Myers. But okay, you protecting your goaltender. That's I like what you show there. You're protecting your goaltender. But after that, it felt like the momentum completely shifted in the Buffalo's favor. Because not so long after that, another face-off play, and it turns into a goal for Jeff Skinner. And this goal was definitely questionable. It looked like he kicked the puck into the net, but if you look on the replay, one of the replays at least, it shows Claude Giroux's forward checking on Skinner, and you see Claude Giroux's right skate come up and hit the skate of Jeff Skinner, which made it look like he kicked it into the net. So the goal stood, and it was a 3-3 game at that point. And so short after that, so short, a turnover in the defensive zone by Sean Couturier. Buffalo pounces on it, and it's Rasmus Asplund to make it 4-3 Buffalo. Puts it by Carter Hart. And then Casey Middlestat puts it into the empty net with 30 seconds left in the game, and it makes it a 5-3 game, and that's how your game finishes. We'll look at the other stats for the game. Flyers outshot Buffalo 43-31. Flyers worked them in the faceoffs, 55% winning them. Flyers won the special teams battle. Buffalo out-hit the Flyers. Both teams blocked a lot of shots. Both teams turned the puck over a lot. Yeah. And I'm going to bring up the standings because even though, like I said, I don't have faith in their playoff hopes at all, basically they're dead at this point. They've been dead for a while. They have. But technically, mathematically, they are still it. Is what I tell myself every day. But Flyers, after this loss, they're 19-16-6, 44 points still. 4 points behind the Boston Bruins, who now have 3 games in hand on the Flyers. Rangers, they're a point behind the Flyers with 43 points, 19-16-5. And look at that goal differential, minus 26 for the Flyers. You are definitely not making the playoffs when you have that bad of a goal differential. You're just not. You are absolutely not. And just looking at tomorrow's trade deadline, there have been some trades today, even a big one that happened like 10, 15 minutes ago. The Nick Foligno trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They gave up a couple of they gave a first round pick, a couple of fourths and stuff for Nick Foligno, and Columbus too. The past 2 days, they've gotten 2 first round they got a lot of draft picks for guys like David Savard and Nick Foligno. So who knows what the Flyers are going to be doing tomorrow? If they make a trade overnight, if Chuck Fletcher's working, I'm sure he's going to be trying to work his ass off for the entire night. I'm sure he's not going to get any type of sleep. So the trade deadline, I think it ends at around 3 o'clock tomorrow. So it's going to be a busy, I would say a little under 24 hours. Really busy. Really, really busy. Because I'm sure he's going to be trying to make some phone calls. Hopefully he's actually getting some phone calls. And let's see if or who the Flyers trade away, and let's see what they get in return. And let's see if this can help them, I guess, build for next year, because that's the sole purpose at this point. Build for next year. Because, like I said, you need to make a lot of moves. You just definitely do. You can't just wipe this season off as a fluke and then go into next year with the same team. You just cannot. You simply cannot. And with the rumors with Lawton most likely going to get re-signed or extended, most likely I would say Lawton's not the guy that's going to get traded. So you're looking at guys maybe like Michael Raffle. Maybe you're looking at a guy like Lasalbe Kubel. Maybe you're looking at a guy like Nolan Patrick. I know his name comes up in a lot of rumors. Who knows, maybe someone on the defensive core could get traded too. You just don't know what's going to happen. You just really don't know. And maybe they make some of these moves and they call up some of the guys from the Phantoms that definitely deserve a shot. Tanner Linzinski played in his game. He looked great. I like the energy that he brings to that bottom six. And he had some shorthanded chances as well. I like the energy that he brings. Guys like Wade Allison, he definitely deserves a shot. I know Tyson Forrester, he's been playing good down there for the Phantoms. Zayd Wisdom, he's been playing good for the Phantoms. Like, give some of these younger guys a shot. Just do it, because they've been really exciting down there for Lehigh Valley. And just give them a chance with the NHL roster. Yeah, I know the Phantoms, they're dealing with their situation of COVID, so they haven't been playing the past few nights. But when they have a chance, just give these kids a shot and see what they can do. Because right now, your playoff hopes are shot. Let's see what the younger guys can do that are down with the Phantoms at this point. So, what are your thoughts on this video, everyone? What are your thoughts on the Flyers, and what do you think they're going to be doing tomorrow at the trade deadline through the next under 24 hours at this point? So, Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I am a part of. Their links will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Florida Podcast merchandise website. And for tomorrow as well, we are going to do a live stream here on TTP Sports, Painted Lines, and Flyers Fan Mania 93 for the Florida Podcast. It's our trade deadline stream. It's mostly, I think it's going to start around 2 o'clock. I'm going to be on there. Chris is going to be on there. I think we'll be starting at 2 o'clock. I think Chris is going to be joining a little bit later when he's done his classes. But yeah, just join us 2 o'clock and just let's see what happens during the day throughout the ending process of the trade deadline, because there's still a lot of big moves that could happen tomorrow, regardless of what the Flyers do or not. There's still going to be a lot of big things that can happen. So stay tuned for that. Those links will be in the description below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, everyone. And I will see you next time.